Today, the state announced it is requesting that the Georgia Milestone tests and other evaluations be suspended for the upcoming school year because of the impacts of COVID-19.
In a joint statement, Governor Kemp and State Superintendent Richard Wood said given the ongoing challenges posed by the pandemic and the resulting state budget reductions, it would be counterproductive to continue with high-stakes testing for the 2020-2021 school year. In anticipation of a return to in-person instruction this fall, we believe schools' focus should be on remediation, growth, and the safety of students. Every dollar spent on high-stakes testing will be a dollar taken away from the classroom.
The governor and the state superintendent say it appears Georgia is the first state to announce that they are making this request not to do the testing. The waiver, though, still has to be approved by the U.S. Department of Education. And Aisha, as you know, testing is always a topic that brings in some very strong feelings, particularly from parents. So we wanted to hear from some of you about this issue.
Yes, Cheryl, people overwhelmingly welcoming the call. Many say they should do away with the test altogether. Heather Hill-Copper says 100%. Let's let teachers put all their effort and energy into every student without the shadow of testing and evaluations. If the last few months have shown the thing about teachers, it's they step up to any challenge. I'm in awe of my boys' teachers.
Meanwhile, Alice Sheehan says, haven't they suffered enough? It's bad enough they are not learning what they should already. You can let us know what you think by commenting on this story on the 11 Alive Facebook page.